WGC, welcome back to the channel. God bless. Thank you for rocking with your boy. It is truly appreciated. So y'all know your boy by now. I love to ramble on about these games, but in this one, we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to try to cover 10 match types and give you guys one major improvement or concept to improve that match type, and we're going to try to do it in under 10 minutes. So y'all get it? 10 match types, 10 improvements, 10 minutes. And since your boy already on the clock, man, let's go ahead and get right into it. WGC, lock in and let's work. And keep in mind, if there are some that are brief or I just don't talk about at all, then that means I probably either already talked about it extensively on this channel or I plan to talk about it at a later date. So jumping out of the disclaimer and right into the first match type, normal matches. Now these cover everything from 1v1 to triple threats, fatal four ways, and all the way up to 8-man. In terms of the multi-man stuff, we've already talked about this several times over on this channel. Please go check those videos out at your earliest convenience. So in terms of the entire normal match category, I'm just going to hit this with a cheat code of an answer and say prioritize pro wrestling. Honestly, there's just way too much to even name to try to come up with one thing. But if I had to pick one thing, then it would have to be the injury and limb damage selling. To keep it simple, limb damage and selling has to mean something. That's from both a physical and gameplay perspective. Tag matches. This is another one we did a deep dive on. Shout out to the homie Jesse from the Pro Wrestling Shoot. He locked in with me on that one and came through clutch for your boy, so appreciate that. If I had to pick one improvement for this one, it would simply be we have to have more ways to pull off tag team offense. VC has to stop pigeonholing everything to the corner turnbuckle. Allow us to utilize more of the ring and far more situations and positions in which we need to pull off these moves. Give us better versions of hot tags and tag team comebacks, double team weapon and environmental grapples, and we'll call it good. Extreme rules. If we just keep it at 100, man, there's nothing extreme about this match. Seriously, what's the difference between this and any other no DQ match? The only thing that makes it different is the branding. There's no exclusive spots or fun interactions, really nothing that makes this match stand out. And therein is one of its biggest problems. But if I had to pick one improvement for this match type, it would definitely be to fix the bland weapon mechanics. Weapons are boring. There are very few strike animations. They stripped out a majority of the weapon grapples. There's very little imagination when it comes to weapon functionality. Things like opening and closing chairs and stacking tables, actually having a variety of attacks with the ladder, as well as being able to place your opponent on top of the ladder, perform diving moves, and even wedging people in between the ladder. Not to mention the lack of any sort of meaningful weapon physics. I could really go on, but given the theme of this video, I'm going to trust that you guys know where I'm coming from. Bloodline Rules. This is actually a pretty dope and fun match. It's basically a no DQ match with a bunch of interferences, and I love it. The one improvement I have for this match type is to be more creative when it comes to the interferences. Shout out to Cube, because we talked about this a little bit in the Pro Wrestling Shoot Discord, but I would love to see guys maybe hop out of the crowd with a black hoodie on. Have guys come from up under the ring, maybe a little late like Tongaloa. They could use Undertaker's blackout or have people pulling up on four-wheelers and motorcycles. If it was up to me, I would even have people coming up through the ring on that Taker and Kane aura. Seriously, how dope would that be, man? Imagine Kane is one of your allies and you call him out and he comes up through the ring and pulls your opponent down into the abyss. Just throw us a little cutscene showing your opponent frantically escaping, and then Kane crawls out of the hole and enters the match that way. Creativity, bro. I would love for this match type to be about more than just calling your allies down to the ring. Let their arrival be impactful on the match. And I think that impact should be based on when you decide to call them out. So let's say you call them out while you're being pinned. They should pop out of nowhere and pull your opponent or the ref out of the ring, breaking up the count and saving the match. If you're fighting on the outside and you call one of your allies, I think they should come in with a blindside attack that basically just catches your opponent off guard. Basically what I'm saying is just mix things up to fit the situation. I mean, it shouldn't always just be about them running down the ramp. Special guest referee. To keep it short and sweet, man, I would just like to see more referee actions. And the main one that comes to mind is a freaking 5 count. I told y'all it's not going to stop until they bring it back. It is a legitimate rule of professional wrestling.
Say it me now.
I honestly can't understand how VC just manages to keep glossing over this year after year, but here we are. But then again, I guess it is kind of hard to have a 5 count when you don't have any legitimate rope break animations. So, yeah. Speaking of animations, I would love for the ref to have some funny and unique animations when it comes to doing things like a fake 3 count or actually ignoring a rope break. Like imagine being stone cold and counting 1, 2, and then you can hit the taunt button and give your opponent the double finger salute instead of counting to 3. Or you should be able to hit the taunt button and ignore a rope break and just turn your back and pretending like you're checking your watch or something. Basically a fun way to let your opponent know that you're screwing them over. Backstage Brawls. Okay, not gonna lie, this one was kind of tough because there's actually 2 that I want to talk about, but the rule is that I can only give you one, so we're gonna stick with it. I'll give it to you as a caption disclaimer in the video somewhere. But as for the one improvement that we're gonna actually talk about, I would have to say more interactive environments. Not to take anything away from VC because they did a pretty good job with backstages this year. But not gonna lie, man, I was a little bit disappointed and underwhelmed with the lack of creativity when it came to the interactive environments. Like there was a lot of things in the archive that we couldn't even interact with, and that was kind of sad. It's not enough just Irish whipping people into stuff and watching them bounce off of it. Give us some cool interactions and attack animations. Like throwing somebody into the casket, maybe the Undertaker should pop out and jump scare them and leaving them open for a free attack. A cool interaction with Austin's truck would be something like opening the door and grabbing a beer, chugging it and spitting it in their face, then slamming the door on them. Something light. Bottom line, and yes, pun intended, just make things more interactive. Royal Rumble. You know, considering the fact that marketing starts around the Royal Rumble season, it's crazy to me that it doesn't dawn on them to maybe give this match type some love. This is another one I talked about quite extensively, but still, I'm just gonna steal one of the concepts from that video, and that being revenge eliminations. After your untimely exit from the Rumble, I think you should be able to break out and get some get back. If you decide to break out in this situation, you will be rewarded with one finisher in about 30 seconds to return the favor to the person who eliminated you. Easy work. TLC matches. And I think this is kind of a 3-for-1 because it kind of falls into the category of all TLC matches are ladder matches, but not all ladder matches are TLC matches, if that makes sense. Because you could still get tables and chairs in a ladder match. But anyway, this is also a fairly simple one because it has the exact same problems as the Extreme Rules match. This is another match where the weapon mechanics or the lack thereof destroys the match type. There are so many spots that we can't pull off due to restrictions or just simply because we don't have the mechanics to do so. So we can't pull off things like in-ring ladder bridges or hitting a finisher off a ladder through a table or jumping from one ladder to the other because the mechanics just simply aren't there. Casket matches. Now, there's quite a bit wrong with these matches, and there's an obvious elephant in the room. But just keeping with the theme of this video, I'm going to focus on something that I feel like would pour into this match. 2 words, casket finishers. And while this won't completely resolve the issue, because I still think there's a much bigger issue, but I still think this is a feature that will breathe much needed life into this match type. And to be honest, for the most part, they probably could just copy and paste a lot of the Royal Rumble finishers over into this match. Throw in a couple of unique ones dedicated to this match, and we got one. Easy work. Ambulance matches, I would follow the exact same philosophy as the casket matches. Throw in some unique ambulance finisher animations. I would say maybe even add some moves that you could do through the roof as super finishers, and we'll call it good. WGC, we barely made it with seconds to spare, but we got it done in under 10 minutes. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you guys would like to see in some of these match types. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy, man. Please leave a thumbs up on the way out. And if you rock with the content, go ahead and subscribe. And please don't be afraid to share the video. Love y'all. All glory to God. And remember to try to be a blessing to somebody. Later, WGC. Yay.